we're going to be talking about is why your favorite YouTubers are coming out with courses and products and programs and services. What's going on? Why are your favorite creators starting to pop up with their own filmmaking course, with their own coaching program or whatever? So the first thing I want to talk about, being a freelancer or being a content creator will eventually lead to a dead end unless you do something with it. As a content creator, have you ever asked yourself, why am I creating this content? Why am I going on YouTube? Why am I creating these videos on TikTok? What is the end goal here? And if you were to ask my younger self from 5 years ago, when I was really trying to become a YouTuber, my answer was always, I want to build up an audience. I want to build up a following. I want people to care about the stuff that I create. I want to motivate people. I want to influence people. I want to impact people. And the way I'll make money is through sponsorships. I'll get enough followers, I'll get enough engagement, and I'll land cool sponsorship deals. And that's usually the standard answer with these things. And that's all great. So many people do it and they crush it. What happens afterwards? What happens when your views dip? What happens when your engagement dips? What happens when those sponsorship deals maybe aren't as abundant? What happens when you get tired of creating content and you're bored of putting out the same type of YouTube video in the same style and the same niche? What happens when you turn 50 years old, 40 years old? Are you going to be creating YouTube videos at 70 or 80 years old? You would be very surprised behind the scenes of how many influencers that look like they're doing incredible, their life's amazing, and they struggle behind the scenes to sell a $15 t-shirt. And the reason why that is because they didn't ask the questions of, why am I building this audience? Why am I building these followers? Imagine if Instagram fell off the face of the earth. I'm recording this video after that outage where Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp were down. If Instagram went completely bye-bye, gone tomorrow, you would have a lot of big-time influencers in serious trouble. Whether you can relate to that or not, it is something to consider and think about. My point is, eventually, you're going to have to create something that doesn't rely on social media algorithms, something that you build that is there for you, that you can rely on, and that you can use things like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram to get people to that thing that you're building. Most people aren't thinking 10 years down the road or 5 years down the road. And if you're just starting out, nor should you, in my opinion. You just go towards your interests and just create how you want to create. But eventually, this is going to pop up in your head. Eventually. So that's the content side of things. With the freelancing, what's the end goal of being a freelancer? Well, there really isn't any, because you're just getting another client and another client and another client. You just want to get more clients. But just like with creating content, what happens when you can't create content for your clients? It's the same thing. We run into this roadblock where things start to become a dead end. And I started to realize this for myself as me striving to be a YouTuber and the growth not happening as fast or as quickly as I wanted to. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to make money in some way. I'm not able to make money from my YouTube channel at this time. So what can I do? And that's when the client work started to happen, and I started working with clients. And this is when I learned that relying on client work, just like relying on social media algorithms and sponsorship deals, it's kind of the same thing. There's that dead end unless you do something about it. So what can you do? What's the solution? Well, to escape that, you don't want to rely on social media algorithms, and you don't want to rely on you having to fulfill client work all the time. Because when you're just fulfilling client work all the time, you don't have time in your day to do really anything else. And so you get stuck into this hamster wheel. And so there are many solutions that you can do. You can start that agency or that production company. You can get into real estate. You can get a job as a content creator, be with a company, and have a future in that way. You can start your own physical product-based business. There's so many different options, but most of those options, they typically take a lot of time or money to really get them going and start building a future for yourself that doesn't rely on you doing the workload all the time, where you don't have to provide a certain amount of effort to produce a certain amount of results every single time. This is the whole inspiration to this episode. And this is the biggest problem that creators face, is that everything that you do requires some type of effort to produce some type of dollar or revenue or profit. If you're in this for the long haul and you want to be doing this for a long period of time, that is your fastest way to burning out, quitting, giving up, and not accomplishing your dreams and your aspirations as a creator. I want you to create content for a living, and I want you to feel freedom at the same time. You do not need to give up your freedoms to be a content creator. You can have your cake and eat it too. And I'm also not telling you to not do any of those things: real estate, your agency, your production company, a physical product-based business. I want to do those things too. But there's another solution that is the most profitable, life-changing revenue stream and direction that you can take this, so that you don't have to rely on social media algorithms. You don't have to rely on fulfilling client work, and you can create something that's leveraged, where you create it once and you can continue to profit from it time and time again, over and over and over again. And that is a digital product-based business. Digital products are the most profitable business model that you can do, period. And you can't change my mind. There is no physical product, agency, production company. It is not nearly as profitable as a digital product, a digital asset. You can sell an unlimited amount. There's zero inventory, zero. The cost of entry of being able to create the digital product and sell the digital product is low, is at its all-time low. And not only is it at its all-time low, the ease of being able to create something and put it out there online to sell it has never been easier. You have an unlimited amount of potential in sales. You have zero cap, zero financial limitations in the amount of sales that you can make. And the cost to get that started is extremely low. So this is where you have that extreme profitability. Your costs are at an all-time low and your potential is at an all-time high. You can't beat it. And that is exactly why your favorite YouTubers and creators are coming out with digital products, including myself. The power of the digital product will allow you to not rely on anybody. No algorithms, no clients, no sponsorship deals, just you. You are your own sponsor. Congratulations. How exciting. And this is why you see your favorite content creators are now coming out with their own products and programs. And having a digital product, building an audience, thinking with the end in mind, is a great way to future-proof yourself and also be able to create money on demand. I put out a virtual workshop not too long ago called Launch Lab, and it's available right now. If you want to go click the link in the description, it's only $27, and it's the perfect toolkit to getting your very first digital product up and running. Whether you have tried launching a digital product in the past and maybe failed, maybe it didn't work out as well as you wanted to, or it's your first time doing it, it's the perfect resource for you. I put that out. I put all the things together in 2 weeks of time. And within the first 24 hours, we did over $1,000 in revenue. And after it was all over, we sold about 100 of them and we did over $3,000 in revenue. And I put that together in 2 weeks of time. And now it's available and anybody can purchase it, and it's going to allow me to create revenue time and time again after doing that work for 2 to 3 weeks of time. So that is how you create something that's leveraged. That's how you create money out of thin air. I put that together so quickly and produce over $3,000 in revenue with a little $27 product, which is really cool. An extra $3,000 a month that you create like that could really help you, could either cover your bills, could get you out of a certain financial situation, or even just allow you to not take on a certain client anymore because you're just working with that client just to cover your bills, even though you absolutely hate working with that person. Now, because it's the most profitable business model, period, and it's never been cheaper to create and put out, and it's never been easier with the technology and the software that we have these days that literally help do it for you almost. With that, the door of entry is wide open. From my experience, most people won't even start because, number one, they think they need a massive audience. I hope I can be a role model in that, where I don't have a big audience. The last few videos, I've barely gotten 1,000 views. I don't have a massive audience. I'm considered a micro influencer, right? And yet I've been able to produce hundreds of thousands of dollars through digital product sales. And the reason why that is instead of just purely focusing on just getting followers and getting volume, I focused on getting leads, people that would be interested in my digital products. And it's actually the reverse strategy. Your digital product, most people think you build up your audience, then you sell your digital product. You sell your digital product and that grows your audience. That's the entire reason why I even have 13K on Instagram, which isn't even that much, from when I started with 6,000 on Instagram or 6,500 or whatever it was. So it's actually the opposite. Your digital product will actually grow your audience because the way you put it together creates so much momentum and excitement. And if you do it the right way, it gets people to come find you, to come find your product, and to come experience what you are putting together. There are people with 900 followers on Instagram that are doing over $10 million a year in revenue. So, and these are people you've never even heard of. They're like a fart in the wind.
Lord, it's a miracle. Man up and vanished like a fart in the wind.
And that is because they focused on not just pure volume of just, I got to be an influencer and get as many followers as possible and get as many likes. They thought with the end in mind, and they focused on creating an environment to attract people that would be interested in that digital product. So that's number one. Number two is, you might think it's just oversaturated, it's overdone, and there's too many filmmaking courses. There's too many people doing this type of product or whatever. The honest truth with that is there are way too many niches, there are way too many personalities, and there's way too many ways to create and deliver the digital product that will separate you. And this is where you get to have fun and be creative in the way that you do it. You being just you already separates you because nobody is you except you. Nobody can be the same as you. And if they're trying to be you, it's pretty obvious and they'll never be as good as you. So that's number two. And number three is, maybe this whole thing feels like a total scam. Let me tell you, no matter what industry you're in, you're going to have people that are going to scam you, that don't live in integrity, that are trying to make a quick buck, and they're going to do what it takes because either they're in survival mode or they're just not a good person. You're going to find those people in every single industry. Let's be honest here. The old way of selling these digital products, it simply just doesn't work anymore. And those ways just feel scammy altogether, even though a lot of them are not, but they just feel that way because that's an old way of doing things. Think about Matt D'Avella for a second. He came out with his education program, Slow Growth. You're telling me Matt D'Avella is a scammy person? I don't think so. And the reason why that is because he actually gives a shit about you. You get to choose the way you approach selling. You just have to want to help people. That's the way I'm trying to help you right now. It's the way that Matt D'Avella tries to help his people as well. So if you are a good person, you're going to attract good people. You're not going to be salesy or scammy. And that's 100% your responsibility. So to kind of summarize this video here, number one is the freelancing, the content creating. You're going to have to do more. You don't have to do digital products. If you're listening to this and digital products is like, blech, I'm not going to force that on you. I just want to educate you and teach you the power of a digital product, how it can change your life, how it'll allow you to have creative freedom and not rely on a sponsorship, how it'll allow you to have creative freedom and not rely on a shitty client. It will future-proof what you are trying to do, and it will only help your end goal. Your digital product doesn't have to be the end goal, but it can support you and your end goal. If you want to get clients and you do want to do the agency and the production company, I can't tell you how many agencies and production companies also sell digital products because it helps them get clients. You want to build an audience and build a following and be a thought leader in your space, a digital product will help you do that. So no matter what the goal is, a digital product will assist you in some way, shape, or form, especially now that we have NFTs and everything is just becoming more and more digital. And so with that being said, I want to invite you to give this a shot and try out Launch Lab. It's a virtual workshop. It's all there. You'll be given instant access. And what we're going to do is we're going to help you design your digital product so it actually sells. We're going to prove that your product sells before you take time to start creating it, which is another big mistake. And we're going to sell your digital product out. We're going to get your first round of customers. We're going to sell it out in just 7 days. If that is somewhat interesting to you and you want to really give this a shot, or if you had a bad experience in the past and maybe didn't have the guidance that you were looking for, I highly recommend that you try out Launch Lab. It's available right now. We put it back out there. Go check it out. Click the link in the description. It's only $27. So with that said, if you want me to create more videos like this, I'm more than happy to do so. I hope you enjoyed this as a YouTube video and the podcast, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.